So you guys, for the last 15 days, for the last 17 days, I've been working on apps, just building no-code apps. And this one I'm working on right now is an invitation app. And the reason I built it was because I helped someone with a video for a birthday party. And when I was doing the invitation, that's what the video was, the invitation, then I realized, like, he's doing it in English and in Spanish, and your number is there for RSVP and more information. And this guy, is busy doing all kinds of things. How you're not going to have time for people to sporadically be calling and asking questions and getting information and whatnot. So what if I created an app that people could use to send out their invitations and collect all the data right inside the app, and then you just go to your dashboard in the app to see everything that's going on. You see who's coming, and in this case it's a birthday party, but if it's a cookout or something like that, or a wedding reception, or any type of gathering and people are bringing stuff, I have it set up, the default is for birthdays, but there's also, you could choose that it's some other type of event. And for the other events, then you can have like a potluck or whatever. So you can have what people are going to bring. And I'm thinking about putting in a tab, especially for when people say, this is next version though, I'm just going to do the MVP because I'm going to try to get it to him so he could use it for this. I talked to him yesterday because I hit him with another flyer. And he was like, thanks, man, I appreciate it. But now I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to get all this stuff out. And I know what he's thinking about. He's probably really thinking about the organization and dealing with it from now until the time of the actual event. But so one of the other things that I'm going to do in the in the next version, is if someone clicks no, you've been invited. Obviously, you're special to the person to invite you to something that is basically private. So if you say, no, I'm not coming, then it's going to say, okay, sorry you can't make it, but if you want to contribute in other ways, you can make a donation. What do you think? That's perfect, because the person might feel, if they're really close and they like you and it's just a conflict of scheduling or something, they can still contribute, and they probably want to if they good friends with you, So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do in the next version. But on this one, now I just want to hurry up and get it ready to go and out the door. I only started on it 3 days ago. This is the third day, 11 a.m. By the end of the day, I want to be able to send it to them to be able to use. And let me show you where I am so far. And by the way, I'm not recording on this yet. Let me connect the Loom. I love Loom. I don't know, maybe I've been burning it up too much lately, but lately I've had some issues with the video that are 2 hours plus not being retrievable, but then you contact them and whatever they do, they figure it out and get it working and I can access it. But Loom is awesome because you get the transcript, you can edit it here. It's not taking up hard drive space until you are pretty much happy with the video. I gotta connect the and you can, think about it. You can do a screen share. A screen record when you're talking to someone else, and it's going to be a transcript. Zoom does this too, though. I have Zoom as well for business. There's going to be a transcript of the call, and you can do different things with the transcript. They're going to give you timestamps and all that themselves, but any transcript you can also take into ChatGPT. I'm trying to pair my headset right now and ask ChatGPT questions about it and to organize an outline, what was discussed, what was important, what do I need to remember, what do I need to take action on, all of that. And Zoom, not Zoom, Loom even has, I can only show you in a minute. They have, I got some ideas with that. But they will break down, like if you're doing a screen recording of, let me show you real quick. So, my videos primarily always about helping folks do this, that, and the other. So, I'm sorry if I get off track sometimes. But this might be useful to somebody. Look over here. After I do this video, which is an instructional video, basically if I had to putting this app together, well, that's a different app. But you scroll down here. Wait, let's see. If you say, what's wrong with this thing? If you go to transcript, oh my God, generate. I gotta regenerate this transcript. Anyway, I'll cut this out. I don't have time to do all this right now. This is not a Loom commercial. But let me start recording the screen, and then, oh yeah, so I can show you how this app works. I'll just show you how I'm working on it. So I do my work in Replit, no code app building in Replit for the most part. And let me show you how cool this is. So this is inside Replit right here. And this is a preview, but as you can see, you can switch it from English, because that's the other thing, is that I needed to do a flyer for them in English, and I needed to do a flyer in Spanish. So that's another thing to work through. Now you gotta think of send some people the English version and some people the Spanish version, in addition to all of the organization challenges of dealing with this. So I made this app so that the person, you just send out one invitation. They can switch it to English or Spanish, whichever they need to. And you can upload both versions of the creative, and it's gonna automatically switch everything. You can't hear it because it's in the headset, but if you gotta switch to English, it's gonna switch the language to English and the creative to the English version. If you switch it to Spanish, you can't tell right now because see, this is English. This is Spanish. A little delay in this environment. And now this image in the beginning, that is for, all right, let me get up out of here. Okay, so this is the invitation. The person that receives this doesn't deal with the other part, although I may add a home button here so they can see the other part because they might want to use it, but I'm going to have to do it. Oh, I can click on that to go back to the home screen because I want to show you something else, like that little image in the beginning recently. So any event you have, this is the dashboard. You go to the dashboard, then you go down here to flyers, and then in this case, he had his own creative, which is something that I made. And you see, you upload the English version here, you upload the Spanish version here, and if you only got one, you put it, if you only got one, you put it here, but we got both. And that image comes from here. Now, enable, so it's not working then. I just did this last night before I went to bed, so I hadn't had a chance to test it, but you're supposed to be able to turn it on and turn it off. And unless I didn't deploy this, then it's not working. I want to test it real quick. So let me see. Enabled and disabled button is working on the image. Flyer. on the invitation sent. When it's off in development. Oh, okay. Environment or when setting up the invitation, it also must cause it not to, when it's off, show in the invitation. Now, if you're interested in learning all of this, like I said, I've been doing 17 days so far. We're going 100 days straight of this, just no code, different apps. I've done like 5-6 apps so far. So you can watch those videos and you get an idea of how to interact, how to talk to the agent in order to get it to do what you're asking it to do. Sometimes it's a repetitive process. It's an iteration that you must go through. Sometimes you got to look at how you're wording things. But in any case, it's been amazing, unbelievable. Like, I couldn't create any of this stuff. I don't know how to code. But you see that I understand. You want to make sure when the flyer is disabled in the dashboard, it completely disappears the public invitation. Oh, from the public invitation page. Let me check the current logic. I can see the issue. Yeah, I didn't think so. It's disconnecting. It's letting you can enable and disable here, but the connection is not made so that on the other side of the invitation that the person gets, that it's aligned. You know what I'm saying? You're just making this change here, and it's not following through all the way to the end, if that makes sense. And this is the type of, this is the process. This is all a process, you know. The more you do it, the more you identify issues that you're having, the more you learn to apply the same way of thinking and paying attention to things and debugging and checking for certain things. It becomes habitual and automatic, and it takes less brain power to actually figure out what to ask, what to check for, what to make sure of, like, without even wasting time. If I tell it to do this, I mean, now when I think about it, now next time I'll say, be sure that when it is changed in the setup of the invitation, that also that connects to the invitation on the receiver's end. And that's going to force it to, or increases the probability that it will be more thorough in carrying out what needs to be carried out, so that you don't have to go back to it and revisit it again. Whereas if you just say, which I said the first time, make it so, because you saw how that image was showing up before the video, and I'll show you the difference. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it took me to the, okay, it took me to the actual invitation. So now you see that the image is no longer there. So now I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna click back here, go home, and here we go. Oh, dashboard, flyers, have my own. So when I gave it the instructions, I wasn't as thorough. I said, I want to be able to turn the image generated on and off, enable and disable. And that's all I said. And that's all it did, just for this part. And it didn't, worry about the other side, like the reason I'm doing it. And you would think that AI, but that's why I say people worry about this stuff too much. It's going to get better and better, but it's still not human. And like even simple stuff that a human might be smart enough to assume, AI, in some cases, depending on what it is, doesn't operate that way. And in certain things, it takes quite literal. And again, all of this stuff you learn these are long videos, hour, 2 hour videos, sometimes more than that. But it's these nuances that you learn. And the other thing is, a lot of times it is quite literal in how it follows your commands. So I only said this, and that's all it did. Like logically, you would think, what's the point of doing that? Well, that's because of how I want it to display. But if I say too much, like I ain't gonna put that there because it's quite ugly, and then it might put a message here that says disabled because it's quite ugly. It'll actually put the message there. So you gotta be careful on how you say, how much information you include when you're typing in here, because I tend to carry on like it's an individual that I'm speaking to. Now it's very interesting. It's so interesting because context is important depending on what it is you're trying to do. For it to understand. Like if I would have said enabled and disabled so that on the other side when they receive the invitation, then they won't see the image if it's wrong size or if it doesn't make sense for their video that's uploaded, then it would have understood the context and it probably would have handled that fine. So context does matter, but when you're just providing extra information that is actually not necessary in order to be able to use it to help make the task more efficient and likely to be accurate to what your intentions are, then it's going to assume that there's relevance. The only reason you said it is because it's relevant. So, you know what I'm saying? In other words, it's not best practice to ramble, well, I ain't gonna say not to ramble, to include extra information and commentary on what you ask it to do, if that makes sense. Unless it is for the purpose of context for it to use in figuring out how to do what you're asking it to do. So if I say, don't make this $10.99 because they probably can't afford it, it might say, only $10.99 because you probably can't afford to pay more. So you don't have to say because they probably can't afford to pay more. You understand what I'm saying? You just want to say, make the price $10.99. Yeah, I think that's a good explanation. All right, so now once I make the change in here, now we have to redeploy it to make it go live. And I learned that you don't want to be messing around with this stuff while it's redeploying. Now, maybe it was coincidental, but when I did that before, it messed up the whole app. But I have done it by accident and nothing happened. So I don't know what's going on. When I asked the agent, was it fine to be messing with this while it's deploying? They say, yeah, it's fine, it won't bother anything. I'd rather not touch it. And all right, so let's see what else we can do while we're waiting. As you can see, this is the URL within the development, but you can attach this to your own domain, as you saw here. This is a word I made up with ChatGPT. Actually, ChatGPT made it up. I just gave it a command to think of different words that could be related to invitation. And we came up with this beautiful word, invitario, because it sounds Spanish. So it's beautiful. So invitario.com is my domain. I have it attached here. And soon as this thing is finished being deployed, then we can just refresh. Still deploying right now. This screen right here is different errors. This is part of the debugging process. When there's problems that's going on, flyer currently disabled, nice message. When there's problems that's going on, you have to ask this to fix it. Then you want to hit F12. F12 will make this come up. And you want to see F12. and take a screenshot of the error if you can, but also include this because this can give it insight and information that points it to where the problem is stemming from. And just paste it in here. Use the sniping tool in Windows. It's running slow because of what we're doing. Take the screenshot. And I like to circle things. Like if I was saying, hey, we need to do something about this title in the middle of the image, then I'll just copy it, paste it in here. Now in this case, I wanted to be able to generate nice looking flyers and everything within the app. I'm skipping that part right now. I'm just going to serving it and collecting data because this is turning out to be more complex than I had realized. There's a lot more work to do and actually be able to generate very nice flyers. So I'll deal with that later at another time. And probably the easiest way is going to be to have maybe 10 different pre-made flyers available to choose from, and then superimpose an image of the honoree, the person whose birthday it is or whatever, superimpose them on the flyer and be able to place them. There's only a certain area on the flyer that could be open for that. Anyway, the flyer templates will be designed to accommodate the user in certain ways, and you'll have options on the template and where to put the person and stuff like that. That's going to be the easiest route. Otherwise, it's just going to be too cost prohibitive. By the time you come down to it, it's taking a lot of time, and it's going to cost so much that you would be better off paying someone to just do it for you, and you're done with it, if that makes sense. So it's deployed now. Let's go to the URL. But if we can get it so that it gives you something nice and it's only $7 to create it and send out the event, and it's all organized, and you're collecting all the information, and you don't have to ask for money. It's in here already, that's, hey, you can't beat that. That's worth it. So now you see that this image is no longer showing up. And this is broke now. Now the English and the Spanish doesn't work. And this happens sometimes. The text is changing over. The video is not changing over. So unfortunately, sometimes when you work on one thing, especially when it's related, it breaks another thing. So when I told it to mess with the image that was in front of this, somehow it also dealt with the coding that enabled it to switch up from English to Spanish. So now I got to go back to, I got several of these open. Now I got to go back here and I got to say, it seems you have broken. Oh. I'm looking for my recording screen. I call myself recording this video and I don't see, don't tell me I'm recording it on Windows. Oh man, I'm using this. Anyway. All right, it seems you have broken the language selection function. when I switch, it only plays in Spanish, never English. Now let me see if it does it in here though. Well, I'm not really going to be able to. Well, yeah, I can do, let's see, preview. Where is it? I'm still learning this thing myself. I just created it, so I don't really know where everything is right off the bat. Let's see, I think the preview is here. Uh-oh, no, it's not preview. The preview is generate fly, spread the word, copy the link. Oh, maybe copy the link allows you to see it. Oh, there it is, preview invite. Okay, let's see if it works here. Because if it works here, that means it works in development. Yep, it works here. It works in the development environment. It just doesn't work in the deployed environment. So that's good to know. Now I'm going to clear this, and then I'm going to try to wait. No, I can't really. I'm going to say, it seems you have broken the language selection function. When it comes to the live invitation, when I switch to English, it only plays in Spanish. I mean, when I switch it, it only plays in Spanish, never English. And then I'm gonna put, however, it seems that in the development environment, it works properly. It works properly, switching from English to Spanish as desired. I'll just say with the toggle switch. So let's see what it says. It's going to say, I see the problem. It's going to say, you're absolutely right. I broke the language selection logic when fixing the flyer disable functionality. The issue is my content selection logic. It's too restrictive for English content. Let me fix this immediately. The problem is in my content selection logic. Let me fix it properly. Fix it to properly show English content when available and fall back appropriately. I should have said this only applied to the video because the text still worked properly. But fix language toggle, that's stuck. Yeah, I should have, because it's talking about the language. I'm really talking about the serving of the video. So we'll see what happens, and that's the thing. That's why I'm doing 100 days of this, because repetitiveness improves your performance in the process. Now, I thought this was 26 seconds, just like the other one. How is it 19? Oh, it's a different video. I think oh man, how am I going to do this? Oh, I'll just leave it to him. He's going to have to choose. So, to serve all this, and there's a third party, so I'm going to have to redeploy it to see if it actually works in in the wild. But, you know, there's 3 different apps I'm using. I mean, 3 different other platforms I'm using to make this one tool. And they cost me money on the back end. So there's only so much functionality and service. Like running these videos, this is uploaded here. So it has to be using storage. And the AI to figure out when to serve, you know, based on English preference, language preference, and switching things over. And then this platform that's going to host it, everything costs money. So what I was going to say is he's going to have to choose which creatives he want to upload, because this is a free plan, and I'm just absorbing the cost, hoping that, oh, this is great, and I'll share it, and they'll be paying customers in the future. But in the higher tier, I'll have it so you're not just limited to these 2 creatives. You can, because there's also a whole minute video that I have that is also in English and in Spanish. And so there's that, you know, with deciding on what you're going to upload. Well, most people are not going to have all of those choices. It's like, I don't have time to do all that. I'm not paying for all of that. And I just need something that's going to be created and sent out that looks nice. And it's deployed now. And this looks nice. Matter of fact, let me show you what it looks like. Let me refresh. I didn't see it. There we go. And let's get a drum roll, please. All right, this image is there. Now the image is back. And this is part of the process here. Sometimes it fixes one thing, breaks another. Sometimes it breaks 2 things and fixes nothing. And you just got to go back and forth. So let's see. Yeah. How embarrassing. I brought you here to show you off the app, and now it's worse than it was when you got here. Now this is part of the process, y'all. But let me show you how this looks on the phone. It's kind of cool because, well, let me tell it to go back to work first. So I'm going to snap an image of this ugliness going on. Screenshot of me. And I'm going to say, you brought the picture back. Now let me check, maybe they actually turned it back on, the reason that it's showing. So let me hit the home button. Oh, that actually still works in development, it looks like. I saw it changing. Go to the dashboard. Go to generate, come down here, click on flyers, have my own. Disable, all right, yeah, it's supposed to be disabled. Flyers are currently disabled and won't show. Okay, so I'm gonna paste this here. I'm gonna say flyer is showing on video in deployed invitation. Also, the toggle works for text of the invitation, but doesn't switch the videos served. And you always want to try and think about what you're saying. You want to use the most precise language that you can so that it is able to actually, understand what it is you're asking of it, which is also useful in trying to get my chair centered, which is also useful in personal communication and business communication, in other words, and communication in general out to the public. But, you really start to learn how important it is in this type of environment when you're trying to use no-code software and even talking to ChatGPT. The more accurate you can be in the way that you communicate, then the better response you are going to get. And the more deliberate you are in how you communicate, what you say, what information you provide, the details that are relevant to what it is you're trying to get, then the better the response is you're going to get. And, it really helps you to improve your communication in general, because, it's a double-edged sword, spending a lot of time working in this environment, sitting a lot, talking to the GPT a lot, and people may only see the negative. But if you're intentional about all of this stuff, like you're using it for a reason and as a tool and to learn from and to grow from, and you're also taking the opportunity to say, hey, this has the ability to improve my communication skills. Like even using this video, as time goes on, I do less ums and uhs and trying to fill in space while I'm thinking of what to say. And so by default, that should improve how I communicate in general. I'm so sorry, it's finished and I'm just... Shall we move on? Let's see what happened. Already we see the flyer is still there. We'll give it a few seconds to what's called propagate, but I don't think it's leaving. Oh, I thought that was a little better. All right, so let's see if the language is working at least. Nope. And that's what happens. Sometimes I see this is working, 2 people RSV, that's keeping track, so I'm glad about that. Something I was wondering if it was gonna work. But when I first did this split serve on the English and the Spanish, one time it got it right. And on the inside, when I turned on and off the flyer, when I got that established, one time I was like, oh wow, we on a roll. And now it's goofing off on me. Since I started recording, it's goofing off on me. Now, okay, so back here, everything's fine. Back here, everything is fine. So, let me close this, because back here, everything is fine. That F12 is related to this, so I don't want to confuse it. On the invitation, okay? And see, this is what I'm doing. I'm thinking about how the best way to say this. On the deployed, this eliminates confusion. Am I talking about the invitation in the development environment, or am I talking about the invitation on the deployed environment? Are they the same or are they different? They're different. Deployed doesn't work. In the development environment, it does work. So being precise is going to help. On the deployed environment, on the deployed invitation, the English and Spanish version. And you don't really have to worry about spelling so much, but since this is on video, I'm going back to change it. And the English and the Spanish toggle does not work. It remains serving Spanish video. The text on the invitation works fine. Also, the flyer is still being displayed. In the development preview, everything works great. It's only not working in the deployed invitation. Yes, I have redeployed, which it really knows that or could see that because this is all connected. But sometimes that's the response that you may have to refresh. You may have to redeploy and refresh. Like, come on, dude. You know I did that already. Don't try it. Sometimes it's like a person. It's like just trying to appease you or give you a quick response and tell you to go ahead on. I'm like, for real? You acting human right now. But it does that from time to time. All right, let's send it off, see what happens. That's a lot of the time that you spend is perfect. The debug log shows that the language logic is working correctly. The videos are actually switching between different URLs. The issue is that the video element isn't updating its CRC, the source, when the URL changes. Okay, whatever, dude, just fix it. This is a React rendering issue where the video elements need to be forced to reload. Okay, let me fix both issues. Thank you. We appreciate that. So y'all tell me how you like this format. I can't do this for every video because I don't have time to edit all these videos. This is not paying me money right now. Obviously, I have other things that I need to do. So, but hey, if you love it enough, if there's enough comments, if there's enough feedback, I'll figure it out. If you share it enough, I'll figure it out. If there's enough views and feedback, I'll figure it out. But video language switching added key attribute to force video element reload when URL changes. Flyer overlay removal. Let me go ahead on it. Oh, does the language switching work correctly on the deployed invitation now? Well, let's redeploy it. I wonder. No, I already know it don't. I was getting ready to ask a dumb question. Like, if it works here, is it a direct representation of what's in the deployed environment? We already know the answer to that question. So let's redeploy it and see how it turns out. Man, the thing is, I don't even know if I'm recording on the screen now because I don't see my control. Oh, okay. So here's control. So I'm just not using Loom normally the way that I used to. That I use it. I guess I'm using it from Yeah. Is this desktop or what? They might not even be able to see the screen. See? Man. I don't like using it here. I like using it. Whew. Oh, buddy. I spent all that time. I use it in Chrome here. Because I think when I go here, okay, it's deployed. Oh, you might still be able to see it. Okay, let's refresh. See what we got. Let's take it back to the beginning. See what, oh, it is the beginning? Oh, okay. Spanish. It's not connected to the video at all. That's what's happening. Because when it's connected to the video, you'll see it kind of like refresh. Oh, close it. What did I do? Still, the flyer is gone. But language toggle still is not working. And the deployed invitation. Let me cut this arrow on. Hopefully it doesn't create too much noise. This will be a good test. Now, if you do this several times and it appears that you're making no progress, another thing that you can do, and I've done it once in this bill, is let me move myself out the way. See where it says roll back? You can roll back in time to a place where the app was functioning in different ways. Like I can roll it back to where that toggle was actually working. And then whatever I did after that, when it got broken, I can just I can have it to try and refix that thing that it was trying to fix when it broke it. I'm not yet quite ready to roll it back. I don't like just quickly rolling back prematurely because I don't know what other things I might disturb or what I did between then and now that I might have forgotten about. Or if it's possible that when you roll it back, it does some extra stuff too. So I don't like rolling back unless I'm just giving up on this ability to figure out how to fix what I want to fix. Agent is ready. What I added, double key forcing. And when it starts talking like that, then it kind of bothers me because it seems like it's doing hacks and to try to accomplish something instead of just figuring out where the problem is, where the bad logic is in the code that should be changed. It seems like it's going around and trying to figure out a hack to not worry about where that coding issue is and how can I add to this to make it to bypass all of that. But I don't know. I'm just saying that's what it seems like when it says stuff like this. Double key forcing. Double key forcing, what is that? All right. The video now includes both the URL and language. Double key forcing. Oh, I see what it's saying. Like, well, I ain't gonna try to explain it, but I think I got an idea what it's saying. However, I don't like all this jumping that I see. Matter of fact, let me see if this is gonna even play. This is not a good sign. Video doesn't even play at all in development environment preview on either languages. I think you broke it. Sometimes I think it helps to be a little hard on it. Seems like it. And sometimes I say, listen, we can't waste time working on this. We're going in circles. We're getting nowhere. There is a time. You're absolutely right. I over-engineered it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sometimes I'll be like, there is a schedule that we must adhere to. We have to meet a deadline. We can't just keep wasting time and messing around. This has to be fixed. Can you please hurry? And I've seen, now maybe it's coincidental, but I've seen times where after saying something like that, we've been working on it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. After saying something like that, it's fixed. And it might just be coincidental because we already been working on it for 15 minutes, But who knows? What does it hurt to try? Agent is ready. All right, let's see what we got. English? Espanol? Let's deploy it and see what happens. And this is the life experience of a no-coder. If you think it's all fun and games and grinning and just having successful outcomes like that, forget about it. It's this. This is it. And, for the people who think that they're doing it wrong, when you encounter these situations, now, let me give a disclaimer. I don't profess to be a guru. I'm only a few months playing around and 17 days serious, where I'm doing it every single day. So maybe I haven't figured out the most streamlined and professional way to deal with it. But from my own personal experience so far, this is a normal part of the process. I've encountered it with Lovable. I've encountered it with Bolt.new. I've encountered it with Replit. So far, for me, Replit has been the one that is easiest to have traction on. So that's why I ended up here doing this challenge here, at least with the start. I may start using other stuff because I think, actually, Lovable has a better affiliate program, I think. Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think they actually pay. Replit, you only get a little credit, a few credits, if you refer somebody and they use your link. If you guys are interested in using Replit, I would appreciate it if you use my link. I am spending all this time and energy and providing this, what I learned. Oh, I'm sorry, it's ready. So that would be nice of you if you did that. At least I get some credits because I'm burning them up. I promise you, I'm burning them up. And yeah, it would be a big help. So I'm just going to refresh the extra time. Jeez Louise. Uh-oh. I don't know why I'm getting excited. Spanish. Let's see. What about here? In development, it works. And deploy it, the video does not change from Spanish. Oh, I meant to add the thing. We have a deadline. Before I even run with it, I'm gonna say it and send it. Are you sure that you fixed it this time? Because we have a deadline. We can't keep just spinning our wheels on this, pretending that we've addressed the issue that we've seen that's causing the problem. Find the problem, fix the problem, let me know when it's fixed. Is it fixed? Make the video completely re-render in production builds. That's what it was doing at first, re-rendering. So maybe this does it, but I'm gonna send that message in again anyway. Be like, listen, we have a deadline. We can't, listen, period. Dramatic. We have a deadline to meet. We can't keep spinning our wheels on this. Find the issue, fix the issue, and let's move on to other things that need to be fixed. Now, I need to say something because I haven't gone and checked it. Listen. Before I go and check, let me say this, ... Is it fixed? Listen, you're absolutely right. Let me get right to the point and fix this definitely. The issue is that React's conditional rendering and production builds doesn't force video element recreation the way we need. Let me implement a direct DOM manipulation approach that will, and then it says, yes, it's fixed. The solution, direct DOM manipulation that forces the video element to reload its source immediately when language changes, regardless of React's rendering optimization. Let's see. Let's see what we get. Isn't this exciting? Isn't this exciting? Dun, 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 dun. The wonderful world of no coding. The wonderful world of no code. I should start as jingle. That's the beginning of my videos. The wonderful world of no coding. Dun, 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 dun. Man. Now, the curiosity. Oh, it's not finished yet now. I'm just checking to see, make sure there wasn't a longer delay in the deployment propagating than I expected. I'm like, before it gets deployed, let me check and see if it has corrected itself. I just didn't wait long enough. No, it's still failing. I wanted to have this out to them by 12 o'clock. However, I have not been working on this all. This was the first time I started working on this today, actually, when I turned the video on. Walked up to the grocery store. I'm in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic right now, actually. If you guys are interested in coming on down, I've been mentioning that in the last two videos. But if you're interested in visiting Dominican Republic, Puerto Plata in particular, then check out your boy at drpuertoplata.com, drpuertoplata.com, and I live here, so whether you need translators, transportation, advice, and all of that is on the website, free. And I do, come on, man. It's not fixed. I can be available to make sure you get those social media ready videos and images, pictures. I can be available for that if you need it on these adventures and excursions. In addition to, I could be your chaperone, or what do you call that thing? But yeah, I can be a personal photographer, videographer. I can do editing and all of that. Again, you can reach me on drpuertoplata.com. If you're trying to make it to the Dominican Republic and you want to ensure that you have a good time, then Puerto Plata is where I be. It's still not working. Now, I wanted to not let you guys go until I got it working so that you can see that persistence pays off. But I don't know. I'm trying to hang in there. I need to use the bathroom. I need to get my clothes out the dryer. This text font changed in the middle. I understand the urgency. Let me take a completely different approach. The issue is that we're trying to make one video element show different content. Instead, let me create separate video elements for each language, show and hide them. Hey man, all right, watch this. Final fix. I'm gonna wait and see okay, I was gonna try to tell it how to do its job, but I'm gonna redeploy it first. Ooh. I'm going to redeploy it first, see if it works before I do that. But I'm going to be like, look, you're giving all of these explanations about the complexities, and why it's not working. It works in the development environment. Look at how you have successfully implemented this in the development environment and use whatever you can from that to help it be successful in the invitation part. There's got to be some similarities there or